Recording. Hello. This is reading the new Christmas song, and this is super long. It's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 pages. Okay, so I'm going to read 2 pages at a time. This is the first video. Herbert E. Bates, A Christmas Song. She gave lessons in voice training in the long room above the music shop. Her pupils won many examinations and were afterwards very successful at local concerts and sometimes in giving lessons in voice training to other pupils. She herself had won many examinations and everybody said how brilliant she was. Every Christmas, as this year, she longed for snow. It gave a transfiguring, gay distinction to a town that otherwise had none. It lifted up the squat little shops, built of red brick with upper stories of terracotta. It made the roofs down the hill like glistening cakes. It even gave importance to the stuffy gauze-windowed club where gauze-windowed club where local gentlemen played billiards and solo whisked over meager portions of watered whiskey. One could imagine with the snow that one was in Bavaria or Vienna or the Oberland, and that horse-drawn sleighs, of which she read in travel guides, would slide gracefully down the ugly hill from the gasworks. One could imagine Evansworth, with its many hilly little streets above the river, a little alpine town. One could imagine anything. Instead, there was almost always rain and long columns of working-class Macintoshes floating down a street that was like a dreary black canal. Instead of singing Mozart to the snow, she spent long hours selling jazz sheet music to factory workers and earned her reward at last on Christmas Eve by being bored at the Williamsons' party. Last year, she had sung several songs at the Williamsons' party. Some of the men who were getting hearty on mixtures of gin and port wine had applauded in the wrong places, and Freddie Williamson had bawled out, "Good old Clara!" She knew the men preferred Effie. Her sister was a very gay person, although she did not sing. She had never passed an examination in her life, but there was, in a strange way, hardly anything you felt she could not do. She had a character like a chameleon. She had all the love affairs. She laughed a great deal in rippling, infectious scales, so that she made other people begin laughing, and she had large violet blue eyes. Sometimes she laughed so much that Clara herself would begin weeping. This year, Clara was not going to the Williamsons' party. She had made up her mind. The Williamsons were in leather. They were very successful and had a large early Edwardian house with bay windows and corner cupolas and bathroom windows of stained glass overlooking the river. They were fond of giving parties several times a year. Men who moved only in Rotarian or golf circles turned up with wives whose corset suspenders could be seen like bulging pimples under sleek dresses. About midnight, Mrs. Williamson grew rowdy and began rushing from room to room, making love to other men. The 2 Williamsons boys, George and Freddie, became rowdy too and took off their jackets and did muscular and noisy gymnastics with the furniture. Okay, that's part 1 of 6. Or I don't know how many, but part 1.